Hello. So in this video, I'm interested in showing you how to multiply and divide integers. And the topic we are looking at is integers. So how to multiply and divide integers. There are things that you need to know very well in order for you to carry out the calculations without any difficulties. So note the following. When you multiply or divide two integers, remember two what integers? Two integers with the same sign, I emphasize. The answer is always positive. The answer is always positive. So when you're adding or dividing two integers with the same sign, the answer is always positive. The answer is always positive. Okay. When you multiply or divide two integers with different signs, the answer is always negative. Now, I don't think this should be something difficult for you to remember. Whenever you see a question with different signs, just know the answer should be negative. When you see a question with the same signs, the answer should be positive when you're multiplying or dividing. So now this you are supposed to note. Now let's look at an example. Let's look at example. I remember in the previous video on how to add and subtract integers without using a number line. I gave you a question like this one. Evaluate -3 times -2. Now, this kind of a question can be worked out with these conditions known very well. So, in order for you to multiply, you can see there are same signs here. There is negative, 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 negative. And we are told that when you are multiplying or dividing two integers with the same signs, the answer is always positive. So in this case, the answer for this one will be positive. We know the answer should be positive. So we are simply going to say -3 times -2. This brackets is the same as times. So just remove the brackets and leave it in this manner. So you know that the signs are the same. So if the signs are the same, the answer should always be positive. So we are going to say 3 times 2. What is 3 times 2? The answer will be 6. Positive 6. How is it positive? Because negative times negative, I remember I showed you very well in the previous video how the positive is coming about and the negative is coming about by simply writing this statement saying positive times positive, the answer is always positive. Negative times negative, the answer is always positive. But negative times positive, the answer is always negative. Same applies with positive times negative, the answer is always negative. I even did a funny way of putting it in brackets by simply saying positive multiplied by positive, the answer is positive. Negative multiplied by negative, the answer is negative. And then negative open bracket positive is equal to negative. Positive open brackets negative, the answer is negative. Now this is just about multiplication. What about division? It is the same as multiplication. If we say now this is just multiplication. Now when talk of division, okay, when talk of division, we are also doing the same. We say positive divide by positive. The answer is always positive. Negative divide by negative, the answer is always positive. We move on to positive divide by negative, the answer is always negative. Then negative divide by positive, the answer is always negative. Also, you can do it this way. You can say negative positive over positive. This is symbol for division. The answer is always positive. Or you can come and say negative over divide by negative. The answer is always positive. Negative divide by positive. The answer is always negative. Or positive divided by negative, the answer is always negative. This is what you are supposed to know, my dear friends. If you know this very, very well, I can assure you that you can never fail integers no matter what. You can never fail integers no matter what. So this you are supposed to know very well. If you know this concept, if you know this information here, then you can answer any question. So this example was straightforward. By simply saying negative times negative, we have the question here. Negative times negative, the answer is positive. Is negative. Yeah, the negative times negative, the answer is positive. Okay, why did I say negative times negative? The answer is negative. This is supposed to be positive times negative here. Okay, so this is positive times negative. The answer is negative, but negative times negative, the answer is always positive. So that's why we have positive 6 here. So the example now for division. If the signs are the same, remember we are trying just to understand the first point here. If the signs are the same, what happens with the division? So we are saying if the signs are the same, the answer is always positive. So in this scenario, we have negative 50 divided by negative 25. So we can answer this one by simply writing it in this manner. Negative 50 divided by negative 25. Now, when you write it in this manner, you can easily see that negative divided by negative is this concept which is here. Negative divided by negative, the answer is positive. So in this case, we are going to have positive, but 25 into 50, it is 2. So we have positive 2 as our answer. Okay, so this is one way you should write. Remember this diagram, this shape which I have formulated, my map here, is very important for you to know. Then we move on to the second example of now, second point, when you multiply or divide two integers with different signs, what happens? So now let's try to do the example 3. Okay, so let's just do these two questions of different, of the concept of 2. When you multiply or divide two integers with different signs, the answer is always negative. So look at this question which is here. Evaluate 48 divided by open brackets, negative 16 close brackets, and also B, negative 3 multiplied by negative 3. So how do we answer this one? So let us just write our answers here. We start with A. The signs, so we are dividing 48 divided by negative 16. Now, when you look very well, the signs are different. This is negative 16 and this is positive. If there is no sign this side, just know that there is a positive value. So we are going to say 48 divided by negative 16. Now, look at this. There is no sign here. If there is no sign, then just know there is an invisible positive. There is an invisible positive. So we say positive divided by negative, which brings us to this concept here. Positive divided by negative, the answer is always what? The answer is always negative. So in this case, we have negative, but how many times can 16 go into 48? How many times can 16 go into 48? That is 3. So we have negative 3 as your answer, proving the statement that whenever you multiply or divide in two integers with different sign, the answer is always negative. So the answer here is what? Negative. So same applies when we come to, when we say let's multiply now B, negative 3 times open brackets negative 3. What you need to do first here is to just get rid of the brackets by simply saying negative 3 times negative 3. Hence now the signs, you can see the signs, okay, this was, I was supposed to put positive 3, so the signs should be different, okay, like this, okay, positive, positive. So when you look at this, the signs are different. There's negative 3 times positive 3, negative 3 times positive 3. So if the signs are different, what happens? We know that the answer should always be negative when the signs are different. So in this case, we are going to say negative times positive. We go back to this question which is here. We are simply saying negative times positive, the answer is negative. So we know that our answer will be negative here when we multiply this. Then we have 3 times 3. 3 times 3, what is our answer? Is 9. So our answer is negative 9, proving the statement that when the signs are different, the answer is always negative. Hence, this is how you answer simple integers, by simply multiplying and dividing. Remember, if you know this part here, then multiplying any integer, it will be very simple. Okay, thank you for watching. Hopefully I've made this video interesting and simple. So find time to work out this task. This is the end of integers, so find time to answer these questions of trying to apply the concept that we have learned and see if you can get them right. So this is the end of integers. The next topic we are going to be focusing on will be approximation and estimation. Hopefully you will not miss the next video, and make sure you follow suit and pause the video, write down the questions, write down the notes and the key points so that you can easily remember when you need reference. Thank you for watching. Bye bye for now.